Tom, Editor-in-Chief of IEEE Software for Arshol, and I'm here today talking with Girish Seshagiri, who's the CEO of Advanced Information Services Incorporated. So welcome, Girish.
Hi, glad to be here.
One of the reasons I invited you here to talk today was that I was looking at some of the talks that you've been giving recently, and when you talk about AIS and the type of work that you offer to the government, it struck me that there's a lot of terms that come up that you don't often see in this line of business. So you say things like that we offer firm fixed price contracting, that you have performance guarantees, and the one that intrigued me the most was a lifetime warranty on software defects. And I thought, oh, you almost never see this type of guarantee or this type of certification with software of this scale, almost anywhere, in my opinion, in my experience. Could you say a little bit about why do you offer that and how you do it?
Sure. It's kind of interesting because the warranty idea was something that came about for us as I always looked at the defects that are reported post-delivery. One of the things that our teams always report to me. And it's a key indicator of how we're doing in terms of customer satisfaction. And as I was seeing where acceptance test defects were customers testing for weeks or months and still not finding anything wrong with what we delivered, after a few of those, and I did ask our teams, is this something that we can actually stand behind and tell the customer that, yeah, we will give you product that would not have any defects in it, and it's just not talk. We will actually fix it free for the life of it. And we said for the life of it because this is not mechanical; it doesn't wear out. So as long as for the environment for which it was built stayed the same, that we could reproduce it and show that if there's an error that was caused by our work, then we said we'll fix it. And the amazing thing about that is that the impact it had on the people that are doing the work, who are really proud of what they're doing, and now they say that, yeah, we're willing to stand behind that, and we can do that. So that's where it came from, and I think the customers are really benefiting from it, not so much not only on the defect side, but also on the fact that the quality work is more predictable than poor quality work. So we're able to meet our schedule and our cost commitments consistently.
Is there something that you feel, is there a need to educate the customer? I'm assuming that something with the guarantee maybe costs a little bit more upfront than similar types of systems, but like you said, the quality is going to be there from the get-go. Is that a transition that customers have to make, or are people generally receptive to that?
There's two things, like this thing that you're mentioning about, is there going to be any upfront cost? And our feeling is that not really. And if you really look at the history of manufacturing, engineering work over the centuries even, software is the only one that seems to take the position that somehow increased quality means more cost, whereas all the other industries always found out that increased quality reduces the cost, increases the market share, and so on. So in fact it is, and the other reason why we need to maybe get the customers to understand a little better about what benefit they're getting out of it, and again it gets back to this question of when does development actually end? And if we don't account for the post-delivery defect fixing cost, then we can say, yeah, the development was done for a particular cost. But if you take the total life cycle cost, it certainly is lower when you have a very quality workforce and a quality process from the beginning, and the fact that from the boardroom on down as a business model, the organization says that, yeah, we will stand behind what we're delivering to you, and if you find anything wrong, we want to fix it.
So we've talked a lot about what you're able to offer, and I was going to ask if you could say a little bit about what are the technical underpinnings. How is it that AIS is able to offer these types of guarantees and is so confident about the quality of delivered systems?
Yeah,
I know that you're...
People like to, and as you can imagine, there's probably no real simple, easy answer to that question. But the one thing that I think is extremely important is that after all the work that we do is done by human beings. So and it is not done solo work, it's done in teams. So the crux of the matter is, how do you form a team, how do you motivate that team, and how do you manage the team, or how do you really manage them to where they can manage themselves? So it's mostly a people kind of question. The other problem that we see is that most of the times, because of time to market pressures, teams are forced into doing work in what we call arbitrary, unrealistic schedules.
Yes.
And when teams are forced into that situation, they typically end up what I've been calling a deliver it now, we'll fix it later kind of a culture. That's what's permeating our industry now because of this time to market pressure. Now, one of the ways that we overcome that is that we do not make a commitment without all the team members participating in really figuring out how long something is going to take. And then, even if it's not exactly what the customer wants, have the conviction to be able to defend their estimate as to why the schedule is longer than what the customer wanted. And that comes about with some real training in terms of the software individuals, the developers, being able to do some estimating, being able to create things like personal plans in terms of how they're going to do the work, to be able to track the work, and measuring and managing the quality of what they're doing. Which is really the other point that most people are probably still not making the connection, is the connection between quality and schedule. And I think because of these time to market pressures, the quality part of it is sort of in the background, but when in fact it's poor quality performance that causes most of the schedule problems. And then the schedule problems end up as quality disasters finally. So fundamentally, if the buyers and the producers come to the understanding that quality has got to be the number one goal, and quality is the one that really has the biggest bearing on schedule and cost.
That was a very interesting answer. I was going to say, as I was leading into it, that because you're a CMMI Level 5 organization, I really thought that your answer was going to be about processes and predictability and understanding the development process as well as the business. But the fact that you gave a people-centered answer was actually quite nice in my mind.
I think so. Like in real estate, they say location, location, location. I think for us, it's people, people, people. But the thing about process is this: the process is important, but process does have one downside to it, which is that you can do a process and you can satisfy that you're doing the process by producing some artifacts to show that you're doing work in this fashion. But the way most of these process systems work is that those artifacts are produced not by the developers, but produced by the process peoples. So they may have no bearing to the way the actual work is done, and we see that in many cases. So one of the ways you get around that is you make sure that the team that's going to do the work take ownership of the process, and the process actually helps them do a better job. And so it's the same idea as you don't make a commitment without the team actually being involved in making the commitment for schedule and cost. The team also has to be involved in deciding what the process it is that they're going to use to do the work. And it's really amazing to see how when people know that they have the ability to determine their planning horizon schedules and costs and the method by which they're going to do the work, it continues to amaze me as to what great work these software people can do.
Well, thank you again for the time, Girish. This has been a
thank
really
you very
fun
much,
conversation.
I enjoyed it, and keep up the nice work at IEEE Software.
Well, thank you.
Bye.
Okay, great. Thank you, Girish.
Bye.
Bye-bye.